What if you wanted to get into Pro Blasters? Pro Blasters in Nerf or Dart Zone are very fun. They shoot harder, they're more accurate, and they're just overall more fun. But they can be more expensive, and they usually are. Now you do have some cheaper blasters, like the Solo and the Cricket, but those are single shot blasters, and really that doesn't get you in the pro place or in the pro hobby. So which blaster can you buy for the same price as the Solo that is a full blown secondary and even a primary, that's built well, shoots well, and accepts scar muzzles? Well, I will have to introduce you to the Fury X from Axe Shots. The Axe Shot Pro Fury X is a mag-fed bullpup thumb-primed blaster that shoots at around 140 to 150 feet per second, which is pretty standard for pro blasters. It of course accepts scar muzzles up on the front. As you can see, you just put the scar muzzle in there and it fits well. It works decently well. Now it is still not the most accurate blaster, but it still works pretty well, and it does work with the B card too. And I honestly think that's really good for this price. The blaster, as I said, is a bullpup, meaning it takes magazines at the rear. And it comes with a 15 round banana mag that is of course half length. It does have a Talon style geometry, but it isn't a true Talon, it's a tad bit shorter, which might cause some inconsistencies in feeding with this magazine, but I will mention that in other reviews. So still a pretty decent magazine. The mag releases, we have two of them. We have this kind of hook magazine that's full MB on both sides, and when you press it, it releases the magazine. The included mag does mag drop, if you couldn't tell. And it does mag drop pretty well. Now with true Talon magazines, because they're a tad bit longer than this, won't really mag drop. Like shown, this is a mag from the Dart Zone Pro Nexus, or the Dart Zone Pro X Nexus, whatever. And as you can see, these magazines are a tad bit longer than these mags, as you can see. It is just a smidge longer, but that's enough to cause a difference. The other magazine this blaster has is the magazine released up here. It feels much worse. It has a worse spring, and when releasing magazines that have a katana style geometry, this really doesn't work well. And I don't like to use it, I just use the hook mag release. The top prime on this blaster is pretty well hidden. This is the top prime. And yes, they even painted the insides of the top prime. That's real attention to detail from Axe Shot. So that's really good, and especially for $15 or €20 if you're going to buy it in Europe. That's amazing. Not to mention that this prime is very light, and while it is ratcheting, so it might be a little bit harder to use, it does prevent from newbies to jam the blaster, and the ratchet prime is completely fine. And of course, if you hold down the trigger, it has slam fire. And it's very easy to use, the slam fire. The grip on this blaster is also very nice. It is a thumb hole stock grip, although it has no thumb hole stock, just a thumb hole grip. But I still pretty much like it. Some people might be irritated by these two nuts. When holding the blaster, I do not feel them at all. But of course you can just sand those down if you want. The trigger is really nice. It's a nice metal spring, and it's pretty nice to just press it even when it's not primed. When it is primed, well, it's a very nice pullback. Then it just smacks. It jolts the blaster around a little, and that feels very nice, and it's very fun to just shoot this blaster. I really love it. You of course have a safety below it, which is in the fire position right now, and when you press it down, it's now locked and you cannot press the trigger. That's very important, and you can activate it with just your middle finger when you're holding the blaster, which is real nice. The top of the blaster has one Picatinny rail, and the bottom also has one Picatinny rail. Now this blaster really does need another Picatinny up here, but it doesn't have it. Also, this switch does almost nothing. In this position, you prime the blaster, and if it's halfway primed or just before the catch holds, you cannot pull it back. Thus, you cannot double prime. One of the cons with ratcheting primes. If you pull this back, and for some reason it has a middle position, I don't know why, but now you can pull it back again. That's kind of cool. This allows you to double load the blaster or double feed it to shotgun it. And most people did not catch this somehow. I don't know, but it does work. Overall, the design of the blaster is really nice. All of this design that's not just gray or this dark gray is paint. Everything besides the gray is paint. That's really good. It has a ton of paint and it's high quality. You also have a ton of little small details that you can just get lost into. There's so much detail and I will never be able to catch all of it. That's amazing. Now, there is one thing that might be concerning with this blaster: plastic quality. It's not concerning at all. The plastic quality is great. Some pieces might feel a bit thin, but they are not structurally important. So this blaster has great plastic quality. It isn't the greatest. The Dartso Max Solo does have better plastic quality, but that is way smaller than this blaster. So really, this blaster has really good quality, and I love it for that. Also, taking it apart is pretty easy. You just take out these two screws, and then you can pull these two pins out, and you can pull this orange part out and change out the spring. So that's pretty easy. Now to take apart the blaster, it takes a bit more time because it has a ton of screws, but it's still decently easy and I did it really easily. So it's good. Oh, also you have to take these two screws out for taking this piece off, so I forgot to mention that. But overall, this blaster looks great, is built great, it works well, and it's just good. Now you're going to see the firing test, which I'm going to be filming with the new camera after it gets sunny tomorrow, because I didn't film the review with this, or I already have a filmed video of this firing, but not with this camera. So yeah, I'm going to see the firing test. Okay, I've just watched the firing test I filmed. Now, I wasn't actually thinking I would put this in the video, but it looks pretty good, and I won't be able to film a firing test for like a few days, so I might as well just use this in this review. I mean, I'm not filming the video with the phone I will be usually filming with, so I think it's fine, but yeah. Now that you have seen the firing test, which is hopefully really good, this blaster is pretty accurate. It's not the most accurate Pro Blaster, but it's still pretty accurate, especially compared to full-length blasters. And that's the biggest selling point. It's accurate, it shoots well, it's built well, and it has no nonsense. Now it does like two main things. Another Picatinny up here, and another sling attachment point. It has no sling attachment points, which is kind of a deal breaker. Putting a sling attachment point right here to allow you to sling the blaster and then just prime it off of you with one hand would be a game changer. You can still put a Picatinny sling mount, but that does take up space for the actual scope, which this blaster kind of needs. It does have a rear and a front sight, but it's not very easy to line up, especially when it's this far back. You have to really put it away from you. And no, this is not a stock. You cannot put it like this. It's way too short and the prime is in the way. So yeah, this blaster is really great, but it's not faultless. It still has a lot of cons, but most of them can be fixed or just avoided. I'm also just pissed about the Picatinny not being up here. That's just weird. But the blaster is still great, it's cheap, and it does its job well to get people in the pro hobby. And that's very important because we want more people in the pro hobby because that's the good stuff. That's the gold. The pro blasters are so much better than full lengths, not only in performance and plastic quality, but also in design and creativity. Because really, Nerf is not doing well in full-length blasters, and they're the only ones making them, and they haven't been making full-length blaster for some time because they've been doing the whole N-series bullshit. Overall, I think this blaster is amazing. It's high quality, it shoots well, it's fun, and overall it's cheap, and that's its main point. And it still takes scar muzzles. So really, X-Shot did a very great job with this blaster, and I think you should go down in the description and buy one from either the Blaster Time store, where you can buy it if you're outside of the USA, or maybe if you're in the USA and even Canada, you can go in a store like Target and just get one. So yeah, at least I think there's these in Target. If not, there's in Walmart, or you can find them in Walmart. But yeah, this blaster is cheap, and it's been getting cheaper. I have seen them on sites for $10 and $5. So in the USA, not in Europe, but still, this blaster is cheap. Just go ahead and get it. I hope you like this review. This camera doesn't look the best in low light, but I think that it still looks better than the camera I used before. So yeah. My name is Nixie, and bye bye.